Welcome to Vint Corners, where timeless elegance meets coastal charm. In this video, we'll take you on a cinematic journey through a vintage-inspired home filled with serene details and layered textures. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and leave a comment to share your thoughts and inspirations. The front view of the house welcomes with crisp white siding, soft blue shutters, and a grand oak door framed by blooming hydrangeas. Vintage brass lanterns glow warmly against the facade, catching the sunlight. Every detail is composed to highlight coastal charm wrapped in timeless vintage elegance. Stepping inside, the entryway feels open and airy, with limestone flooring that reflects the soft, natural light. A rattan bench rests beneath framed coastal prints, while a hand-woven sisal rug anchors the scene. The space feels curated yet welcoming, balancing texture, warmth, and quiet vintage refinement. The living room radiates serenity with its seafoam and ivory palette. Linen drapes filter sunlight across slip-covered sofas, a weathered oak coffee table, and ceramic lamps with vintage glaze. Every composition suggests calmness and elegance, as if frozen in a perfectly timed editorial photograph. The dining room captures timeless conviviality. A reclaimed pine trestle table sits beneath a beaded chandelier, its glow softened against rush seat chairs and a seagrass rug. Every detail evokes gatherings of charm, with warm textures layered in balance. The lens frames it as cinematic coastal luxury. The kitchen blends modern crispness with vintage soul. White cabinetry with beadboard detail pairs with shimmering marble counters. Pendant lights with brass finishes cast a soft glow above a farmhouse sink beneath sunlit windows. The composition glistens with practicality and beauty, both editorial and warmly inviting. A breakfast nook feels intimate and sun-drenched. Built-in seating upholstered in striped fabric is scattered with coastal-toned pillows, while a round pedestal table anchors the bay windows. Sunlight dances across the textures, creating a warm interplay of shadow and light, perfect for a cinematic lifestyle shot. The butler's pantry becomes a glowing jewel of detail. Glass front cabinets reveal porcelain and vintage glassware, with soft blue walls framing the polished nickel hardware. Under-cabinet lighting adds quiet radiance, transforming a utilitarian corner into a sophisticated editorial vignette of vintage character and coastal elegance. study exudes thoughtful calm with beadboard walls, rattan seating, and a weathered oak desk. Distressed leather accents soften the space, while coastal artwork rests casually against pale walls. Sunlight plays across the jute flooring, shaping the composition into a scene of serene inspiration. The guest bedroom glows in tranquil layers. A wrought iron bed in matte black creates contrast against linen bedding cascading in soft folds. Botanical prints line the ivory-toned walls. With its airy textures and subdued palette, the scene radiates timeless vintage calmness. The hallway upstairs is dressed with wainscoting and driftwood gray paint, grounded by a striped runner. Nautical charts framed neatly align with sconces glowing softly in patinaed metal. The view down the corridor feels cinematic, guiding the eye toward further moments of design harmony. The primary bedroom feels ethereal under whitewashed beams and vaulted ceilings. A canopy bed draped in sheer fabric rests at the center, complemented by pale ceramics and woven textures. A vintage trunk anchors the foot of the bed, adding both function and timeless style. The ensuite bath glimmers in soft light, its freestanding porcelain tub positioned beneath linen-draped windows. Brass fixtures shimmer against marble tiles, while a vintage Moroccan rug spreads quiet warmth underfoot. The entire space radiates serenity, captured as if for an elegant magazine spread. The dressing room becomes a sanctuary of detail. Cream cabinetry with brass pulls reflects gentle sunlight, while a vintage vanity with oval mirror sits adorned with ceramic jars. Woven baskets rest neatly below. The scene suggests both utility and refined coastal charm. The upstairs lounge breathes openness with skylights filling the room in daylight. Slip-covered armchairs in sandy hues rest on a sisal rug, framed by abstract coastal artwork. A weathered oak console ties the scene together, crafting a composition of light, air, and relaxed elegance. The laundry room feels stylishly practical. White cabinetry with brass bin pulls shines above patterned cement tiles that introduce playful geometry. A farmhouse sink rests beneath shelves stocked with vintage jars. Brightness fills the room, balancing utility with charm, a carefully captured lifestyle moment. The mudroom carries a vintage spirit with beadboard walls and slate flooring. Woven baskets and striped cushions soften a weathered bench, while vintage hooks line the wall. Gentle light streams in from a side window, bringing warmth to this practical corner. The screened porch blurs inside and out, filled with wicker seating layered in coastal-toned cushions. Sheer drapes sway with the breeze while a rattan pendant light softly glows. Greenery beyond frames the shot, lending freshness to the relaxed vintage composition. The terrace extends with pale stone paving under wrought iron seating and white cushions. A weathered teak table rests at the center, surrounded by trailing vines climbing stucco walls. Every element combines to capture vintage charm in a coastal open-air setting. The poolside scene sparkles with turquoise water against ivory stone pavers. Striped umbrellas shade white lounge chairs arranged neatly in rows. Olive trees and terracotta pots soften the scene, offering texture and height. The composition reflects relaxed coastal luxury. The backyard garden closes the narrative with hydrangea borders surrounding a manicured lawn. A vintage stone fountain flows gently at center, while a pergola draped with climbing roses shelters wicker seating. Captured in golden light, the atmosphere feels dreamlike yet timeless. Thank you for joining us on this tour of vintage beauty blended with soft coastal tones. We hope the details inspired your imagination and love for timeless interiors. Make sure to subscribe to Vint Corners, hit like, and comment below. We'd love to hear your favorite part of today's journey.